Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for stopping by. Today we're going to be talking about sway bar end links. I'm currently doing mine right now. That's what we're going to see. We're going to do a how-to video on this. We're going to talk about here in a real quick second exactly why I'm doing these and why you should do these for sure. Now, if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. If you're already subscribed, make sure you hit that bell button so you get those notifications. Let's go ahead, show you what I took off, and talk about exactly why I'm replacing it and why you should think about doing it as well. So apparently you actually have to hit record and able to record, but anyways, unfortunately I already did one side. I went through a crazy explanation and I realized I didn't hit record. So I'm gonna go through an explanation on the other side compared to what I just did. But anyways, first and foremost, the difference in these kits is right here. This makes a world of a difference for what your sway bar end link is. Now this is this factory style, and it basically comes with this little bolt here, which I had to cut off because, you know, we live in the Rust Belt and that was just not happening. You can actually even see the difference of the width that is getting eaten away by the salt. Anyway, so it comes with this real narrow tiny bolt and then a sleeve. Now the sucky part about the factory end links are these sleeves are not tight. So it's not like if you get like a tie rod sleeve and it threads in and it's super tight and it adds extra strength. This is solely there just to hold the bushings in place. It's got no structural support at all. And it's a really poor design. The reason why I'm doing this is because these things tend to fail, and they fail really hard. Now, obviously here I went with the Kryptonite kit because you can't go wrong with Kryptonite stuff. This clevis here is a full grade 8 clevis. You know, the bolts they give you are full grade 8. Awesome material. You just can't go wrong with it. I want to say it was like $100. The link in the description will be below for this kit. So this is what it looks like when it's all fully installed. It's a very great kit. It's kind of a pain to get in there, I'm not gonna lie. It's not really easy. You have to kind of pry up on this and able to get this bushing in. You have no space to get this bushing in, as well as the instructions that Kryptonite gives you. It's a pretty good instructions, but they do leave some things out, you know, some minor details like lifting up on that, you know. And I can tell you right now, the way I lifted up on it is by far no means a safe way. I wouldn't suggest doing it. Maybe come up with a different way or have a second set of hands. My issue is I only have myself, so it's kind of hard to pry up on that sway bar and then try and get that bushing in there. But anyways, let's go ahead and get the other side off for you guys and show you how to install this. So here it is right here. This is your sway bar end link, and I'm not even gonna bother with it. You can see how rusty it is on the other side. I had to cut mine off anyway, so I'm just gonna cut the top off here and then pop it down. So like I said, up here in the Rust Belt, you know, it really sucks when you're working on trucks from my area. You know, my next truck is definitely gonna be a Southern truck because working on Eric's truck, the paperweight Duramax, the red GMC, super easy to work on. I'm very jealous of you guys down in the South. Go ahead and make sure you guys hit that like button if you're from the South, and if you guys have rust-free trucks, because you know what, be thankful, be very thankful for what you guys have. I don't like taking an angle grinder in my truck. I don't like taking a sawzall to my truck, but you know, sometimes it just has to happen. That being said, let's go ahead and dive into this kit a little bit deeper. So you're gonna start out putting this clevis in here. It will be a real nice fit. Like I said earlier, Kryptonite definitely doesn't slack on their hardware, and it's very nice. That's probably one of the biggest reasons why I'm a large fan of them. The warranty, obviously, you know, is outstanding. The warranty they offer on their products is something not a lot of people offer. But if I was to be 100% honest, it's not even really about the warranty for me. It's stuff like this. You know, the amount of heavy duty parts that Kryptonite offers is just outstanding. And yes, obviously you pay a lot more for that heavy duty part, but you can't go wrong with it. You know, their steering components, their suspension components are just absolutely tried and true, and I would 100% suggest them. Now that being said, I'm not saying, you know, obviously you guys can see here, I need to do control arms, and I'm going to be doing that in the future, but I'm not saying, you know, don't go with like Cognito control arms. Obviously Cognito is pretty sure the original of the aftermarket control arm with the bolt-on ball joint, so I'm not saying don't go with them, but definitely just don't go with one company just because everybody else says they are. You know, just because I say, hey, Kryptonite, I really like Kryptonite, just because I say one thing doesn't mean you have to do that, or doesn't mean you have to do what other people say. You know, make sure you do your research, make sure you get the parts that you want on your truck, because when it comes down to it, it's your truck, and who gives it what anybody else thinks, right? So with that little rant, you're gonna go ahead, now insert this into your clevis. just like that. Now if you see here, you don't have a whole lot of room. You can try and pry up on it like this with your pry bar and see if you can get that extra room. But I was not able to do that. So what I had to do was this is where I'm not gonna film for the safety of myself. I'm gonna make sure, you know, get my boy out from underneath here. I need to jack this up right here. I need to lift this up so that I get this extra space, and once I'm lifting this up, I can pry this on. Now, I'm not going to film this just because I want to make sure I'm doing this the safest I can for myself. That way I'm not focusing on the camera, I'm not focusing on getting footage for you guys. This is where it really needs a second set of hands, so if you're going to do this, make sure you plan on having a second set of hands. It makes a world of a difference having that extra pair of hands. I really appreciate Eric and everything he does to help me out with the channel, and days like this, it really sucks and I miss having his hands. So I'll see you guys in a little bit. All right, so I was actually able to just pry this up on this side. The other side I had to lift this up with my jack, and it was kind of sketchy, but I was able to pry this up and everything was perfectly fine. So we're gonna go ahead and tighten this down till these bushings compress, and then go ahead and torque everything out. Now, what I mean by compress those bushings is basically you'll feel them bulge out a little bit. You don't want them absolutely bulging out to the point where they're looking like they're gonna burst or they're absolutely shrunk down. So just once they're kind of like bulged out, that's all you need to do. And then Kryptonite will give you all the torque specs that you need for the stud on the bottom, for the lower control arm, 70 foot-pounds, and then the Clevis hardware is 60 foot-pounds. So go ahead, torque everything down to, you know, to the proper specs. And I personally like to drive it and then re-torque stuff when, you know, you're adding new components to your truck or in replacing things. You know, I did them with my traction bars. I'm definitely gonna do it with this. You know, it doesn't take a lot of time out of your day to do it quickly. So make sure you guys do this right, and you won't have any problems, especially when you're dealing with suspension components. But if you want to ask me for my very first opinions on this, and I can tell you right now, I am absolutely impressed by this whole entire thing. You know, with this being a solid piece, this clevis down here, the grade 8 hardware, you absolutely can't go wrong with it. It's an awesome product, especially for the price you pay for it. I don't even know if it's actually $100 or not. I really can't remember. I want to say it was any $90 to $110. It's one of those two things. But like I said, that link in the description will be below. So go ahead, we're gonna torque everything on. We're gonna get these tires back on, and then we're putting my new lug nuts on here real quick as well. So I don't know how I feel about these lug nuts. I got these off Amazon. I'll leave a link in the description below. For those of you that haven't worked with a keyed lug nut before, it's actually pretty simple. You basically throw the key in the proper size socket that you get, and you put that in, and then you'll take this and you'll torque this down as well. No, I'm not too happy about those right now. I'm thinking I'm gonna replace them. I don't know what I'm gonna do. If you guys have any suggestions, leave them in the comments below. I do like the black, the different contrast, but I'm just not a fan of how they look. Like I said, please go ahead and leave something in the comments below, some type of suggestion for lug nuts, because I'm not a fan of these. They were really cheap, to be honest with you. I think they were like 20 bucks. They're not real impressive to me. I'm probably not gonna run them real long. I'm definitely gonna keep an eye on these. I'm gonna retorque these probably a few times to make sure they're staying torqued, because they are so cheap. I don't know what kind of metal they're made out of. But please, like I said, go ahead and leave a comment below for what you guys think of what kind of lug nuts I should run, because like I said, I'm not impressed with these. I don't want to keep running these. Or even just send me an Instagram message or TikTok message on what you think. I think I'm gonna post something on both of those pages also as well to see what I should go with. So you guys go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel. If you're already subscribed, hit that bell button so you get those notifications when I upload my videos, because you know, I guarantee you I get buried. All my videos get absolutely buried in the massive YouTube world that it is. I enjoyed having my buddy with me today. He helped me keep going and keep going. It's really hot out here. We're both struggling through the hot together. And make sure you guys go ahead and stay tuned for Wednesday, because we're going to be we're all attempting to try and do our bump stops. I got Kryptonite bump stops as well. We'll see how that goes. I took a look while I'm already in there right now, and man, it's not looking good. I don't know if I can cut those off or not. I'll maybe see if I can cut them off and then refeed them. But that being said, make sure you guys go ahead and have yourselves a great week. I know it's Monday. Hopefully it'll go by quick for everybody. Enjoy your night, and we'll see you guys on Wednesday.